Hi, I would like to start by saying that I am not, do not, and will never promote drug abuse. You see, the seizures from Lyme disease, just like any other seizures, can be proved to have dire consequences on our body system, and the possibility that they may prove to be deadly is one that I absolutely would not rule out, as there were a few times that I woke up after my seizures to my family members, my loved ones, crying because I had stopped breathing entirely during my seizures, and they had to bring me back. So if that's not enough, the following facts may help ease your mind a little more and help you see that I'm actually not promoting drug abuse. I'm doing quite the opposite. You see, the Mayo Clinic came out with a study where researchers found that nearly 70% of all Americans are addicted to some sort of prescription pill, and less than 10% of marijuana users are addicted, and you know, that's not even all Americans that are users, so that's way less in comparison to the ratio of people addicted to marijuana and prescription pills. Also, there are about 100,000 deaths a year from prescription pills, and you know, that's just what's reported to the public, and usually that means you can assume that the real number might be a great deal higher. In regards to marijuana, to date there are 0 reported deaths. And you know, marijuana has been used to treat seizures due to its natural anticonvulsant for thousands of years. And we are born actually with cannabinoids coursing through our system, so they are very good for us. The thought that they are bad for us is completely illogical once you understand that fact. Alright, so moving on. My story, I was having over 10 grand mal seizures a day. I say 10 because that was on a good day. Usually I could have up to 10 in an hour, and like I said earlier, I would quit breathing sometimes. I get Bell's palsy, go unconscious for hours. The list goes on and on. If you have Lyme disease seizures, you already know. I had exhausted all prescription pills, and not only had they not controlled my seizures, they increased them in severity. So I went to herbal remedies, and they did help some, more than prescription pills did. But never did they completely control my seizures. My seizures continued to control me. So I did a crazy experiment and decided to smoke marijuana. I say crazy because in the past I noticed that if I smoked, I would have some spasms, which is why I hated marijuana. But I figured out that that was because I was smoking too much and I was having a die-off. So in small amounts it helped. And when I say small amounts, I mean like 1 puff or 1 drop of oil. So I cannot stress enough that if you're using it to control seizures from Lyme disease, it's way different from epilepsy or anything else, because you have the spirochetes in your brain too, and it will cause a die-off, and the spirochetes will wage war. So I would not suggest using potent amounts and having a die-off until you have your seizures under control, because you will just get the opposite of what you were looking for. Marijuana controls seizures from Lyme disease because it activates a receptor in the brain called CB1, and it activates it in the memory area of the brain, which is another beneficial thing to Lyme patients, as we do lose our memories, and it also activates it in the nervous system and various other tissues and organs throughout the body. Also, neurological Lyme patients, which most Lyme patients with seizures are, have brain swelling and, you know, encephalitis, and that causes a lot of stress on the brain, which is typically what causes the seizures. And marijuana, it reduces brain swelling, so that reduces your chances of having seizures, as well as lessens a lot of other neurological symptoms from Lyme. Also, in regards to stress on the brain, just, you know, 1 puff or drop of oil, it relaxes and calms your brain pretty quickly, so that'll stop your seizures and prevent them. A lot of people ask how I did it. How I did it is probably not going to be how you end up doing it. You really have to just experiment and see what works for you and start at the smallest dose, because like I said, it's so much different than if you're treating seizures for a different disorder, because the spirochetes are there and too much will cause a die-off. So start at the very smallest amount and just, you know, find out what works for you. I used a amber colored oil where I mixed the herb with coconut oil so I could kill candida at the same time. It worked very well for me. I've had people say, well, that's not hash oil. That's very correct. It's not hash oil. It's cannabis oil. So yeah, that's what I did. Just find what works for you. I hope this video helps some of you guys. If you'd like some more information, I started a website where I post correlating articles, so you can visit that at shelleymwhite.com. That's SHELLEY, M as in mother, white, and the color.com. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.